Welcome to That's a Wrap, a podcast from Voltage Live that breaks down the repetitive nature of the holiday romance movie genre to tell you what's worth watching for this holiday season. My name is Jen, and my mom, a resident holiday movie expert, joins me on the couch for commentary. Say hi, Mom.
Hi.
Although these movies have been out for over a year, a spoiler warning is still in effect. We're about to break down for you It's Christmas Carol, which came out in 2012, and it'll set you back about an hour and 26 minutes. You can pause this now and come back after you've watched the movie, or just listen to our breakdown. Do what you want. I'm not your mom.
I am.
Yeah, you are my mom.
I am your mom.
So this movie stars Emmanuelle Vaugier, and the one, the only Carrie Fisher.
I'm excited.
I am also very excited.
She has a wicked sense of humor.
She does. So the synopsis of this movie is, it's Christmas Eve in Chicago, and a heartless tyrant publishing exec, Carol, is haunted by her dead ex-boss, who is the ghost of Christmas, past, present, and future. And you can watch this on Hulu. So if you want to watch this on Hulu and then come back to hear our commentary, go ahead. Or not. I don't control your actions. The rating that IMDb has given it is a 5.8.
Okay.
So we're going to see if it's actually worth the 5.8, or if it's better, if it's worse.
All right. So I believe this is an actual Hallmark movie. Is it or isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
We can look that up in between.
Okay.
But for now, we're going to dive in to It's Christmas Carol. The movie starts in a snowy Chicago. We're introduced to Carol, our resident Scrooge, but this time with literature instead of banks. She has fired an employee for pitching a book and really brought down the holiday vibe in less than 10 minutes. Carol has a sick mom, it looks like, and she isn't interested in spending time with her. We now see a bustling city and a company holiday party. Carol is once again bringing down the vibe at this party. The book Carol rejected? It's written by her ex, I think. I don't know. It seems that they have a history. Carol goes to the bathroom after the altercation and is surprised by her old boss, Eve, who is a ghost because she's dead. Okay, I feel like this is a pretty good place to pause.
Yes.
For our first 20-ish minutes.
Yes.
Into the film. Carrie Fisher, man. I miss her every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I miss her.
That's still a hard one to.
Yeah. Which is part of the reason why I put this one on the list when I saw that she was in it. Because I was like, oh, Carrie Fisher. So, Carol is not nice.
No.
Very rude.
Correct.
Her whole office hates her.
Yes.
She fired an employee, denied a transfer.
Making them work on Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that has to be illegal somewhere.
Yes.
And now we're in the part where she is hallucinating.
Yes.
I think.
Yes. This is where Carrie Fisher, with a small smile on her face, is making her presence known.
Yes.
That this is not the ordinary. You're not in your ordinary time.
And I think that this is going to be the late 90s, judging by the clothes that I'm looking at, and the fact
not
that
late 90s.
Late
no.
80s.
I would say late 80s.
Judging by the fact that there's probably going to be a guy spitting on his head in about 2 seconds.
Breakdancing is a thing.
Yes. Let's jump back into it. Carol is now rejecting the whole phenomenon. Eve takes Carol to her past, showing her mom was a hard worker when she was young. Flash forward 15 years and we see the first day she met Ben, the ex-guy from the beginning. We trip our way into witnessing the beginning of Carol and Ben's relationship, their first apartment, and the way it ended. Okay. So we've met Eve, who is Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
And we've gone through her past.
Correct.
With I don't know if I would call him handsome.
No.
He's I personally do not find him handsome, but that's just my taste. But the handsome writer.
Yes.
And we saw their relationship and how it ended. And do you have any thoughts at this point in the movie?
I don't. I totally understand how she got to this point.
Yeah. Like I'm making things, dots are connecting.
Yes.
Connected two dots.
Yes.
But they make sense.
Yes, very much so.
And I believe now we're going to get into her present.
I would hope so.
Because if we're going Christmas Carol vibes,
yes,
then this would be the point where
yes.
it happens.
And on a side note, Carrie Fisher's delivery is spot on.
Oh, yeah. She's doing great. I think she's going to make this movie, like, worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it already is worth it.
I like this one so far.
Yeah. I feel like I don't have much to say because I'm just enthralled.
Yeah.
We now look at her present. We see the life of the employee she has fired and what sacrifices she has to make. Her staff is revolting by starting their own publishing company. And we see Carol's right-hand woman's relationship start to implode the same way Carol's did. So we've completed Christmas Present.
Yes.
We're about halfway through.
I'm liking where this is going.
Yes. We found out that Eve got hit by a bus.
Yes.
And that's how she died.
And it wasn't planned.
No, it was not. For a moment, I did think Kendra may have... No, not Kendra. Carol may have pushed her in front of a bus.
No.
Kendra is the assistant. Correct. No, well, senior editor.
The right-hand woman.
Yes. And her relationship is starting to implode in the same way that Carol's did.
Yes. She sees Carol and Carol's success, and while trying to live up to Carol's expectations, Kendra's becoming Carol.
Yes. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on this movie other than I feel like it's moving really quickly. And she's having a lot of like, I don't know. I feel like with A Christmas Carol, like the Charles Dickens story, there's just more, even though it's probably paced the same, it just feels longer. Like it feels more emotional, like tug at the heartstrings.
Well, a regular Christmas Carol, there's more of a build up to it. There's more of a beginning.
Yeah, this one didn't really have, it just feels like it's going really, really quickly.
Yeah, but the point of this is it's not a Christmas Carol per se. It's, you see who she is and you already kind of know the basis of A Christmas Carol, so you don't have to have as much lead up.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like learning more, like spending more time. I feel like we didn't spend a lot of time on the present.
I don't think there's much to the present other than everybody's scared of her.
Yeah, but like also.
And nobody likes her.
I don't know where we're going to go for the future.
Well, let's watch and find out.
All right. Carol is now at her mom's house, and we see just how Carol's absence affects her mom. We see Ben and his sister. It's been 10 years since Ben and Carol broke up, but Ben still has feelings for Carol, just not the version she's become. So we saw more of her current.
Yes.
Which I liked.
Yeah.
I liked. Ben really delivered that blow.
Yes.
And now she's in full meltdown mode.
She is. Well, and her mom.
Yeah.
So we went more in depth with her mom and with Ben. So
yeah.
Which was what I think you were feeling was lacking before. We just paused this prematurely.
We did. I think now we're going to get into the future part.
Yes.
Because we got to start wrapping it up soon.
Yes.
It's almost time. So, do you have any predictions on how this is going to end?
Oh, yeah. I think the future is going to be very, very quick for her. Because I think she's going to see her employees that left happy. I don't know what's going to happen to Kendra. Kendra could go either way. Kendra could either have left Carol to go with her boyfriend to London and find her true path, or she's going to see Kendra completely broken and Carol will realize that that's her fault.
I think everybody gets rehired at the end. She like I assume she's gonna have that moment of like
the aha moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then everybody is gonna be reinstated and
given 2 weeks off. Probably 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
And I think she's personally going to go over to Tanya's house
and give her her job back.
And maybe with maybe, I don't know if like a promotion per se, but maybe develop new
writers,
new future classics.
We now see Carol's future. She and Ben have kids and grandkids, and it's great.
Okay, so we're getting to the future, and there's a bit of a twist. A little confused, but instead of seeing the bad if she continues on her way, I'm thinking she's going to be shown the good that'll happen if she changes her ways. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I was like, maybe that's not actually Carol.
Yeah.
And Ben, and Eve's just making it up.
Could be. But I think either way, I think she's being shown what could be.
Yeah.
In a positive way.
Yeah. That is a twist on.
That is a twist.
It's actually not her future, but instead one of the many options she can have. She's seeing the version where she's alone and where Kendra gives up her future to become the new Carol. Carol wants to change but doesn't know how, and Eve disappears. So we had the classic, you see your own grave.
Yes.
I don't really know what to say.
She's had her epiphany.
Yeah, she's had her aha moment.
So I guess this part. So they did do the future a little different. I liked it, but now we're just waiting to see what she does with the lesson that hopefully she learned.
Carol wakes back up in her house. She has a copy of Ben's book and she reads it. She reinstates Tanya, who does some baller negotiations for the office. Carol surprises her office by giving them a share of the profits and making them all board members. She sends Kendra off to Europe on a sabbatical to start writing. Carol goes to visit her mom and they reunite. Her mom basically tells her to go after Ben and get him back, so she does. Ben isn't at home, but his typewriter is, and she's going to leave. Bam, Ben shows up. Carol gives this emotional speech, and then they kiss, cut to someone's house where Carol and Ben are celebrating together, and credits roll. Movie is done. Okay. So, what did you think?
Warm fuzzies.
Warm fuzzies?
Yeah.
What would you rate this out of 5?
I'd give this a 5.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a sucker for a good Christmas Carol.
Yeah. I would say 4. Mostly because, like, I don't know. I felt like the present stuff that I had issues with got addressed.
Yeah.
But it felt like it wasn't going to get addressed.
But that's for our fault for not continuing to watch.
I guess.
I think we paused it too soon.
I guess.
But the acting was great. The writing was fun. I mean, they put in little digs about the
Star Wars.
Well, and the guy from
Queer Eye.
So they made those little kind of if you know kind of things. So the writing was good. There was enough little uniquenesses to it, so it wasn't the same old. And Carrie Fisher.
Yeah. She really just makes the whole movie.
She really did. I don't know if I would have liked it as much if it was somebody else playing Eve.
Yeah.
But the person who played Carol was spot on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So this is the big question. Does Ben and Carol, does their relationship last after the credits roll?
Door number 1. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Here are some reviews for this movie. Someone named Elizabeth gave it 2 stars and said, I would pay to have Carrie Fisher rise from the dead and lecture me on my past, present, and future mistakes. Peter gave it 3.5 stars. A unique modern take on A Christmas Carol. Could have been done better, though. Still, it at least earns the rating because it stars the late Carrie Fisher. And Existential Jenny gave it a 4. There's a reason why Dickens' tale is a classic, and for me, it never gets old. It's one of my most cherished tales. This fresh version is great with a modern, false feminist female Scrooge, and Carrie Fisher is a formidable ghost. And I loved it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I will agree with you also that it was a bit rushed, but this was made for TV. With a timeline to it. I mean, you can only do so much in the time that you're given. And it was a Hallmark. It was produced for the Hallmark Channel. So I think as we go through these, you're definitely going to see the difference for the ones that were for the Hallmark Channel, the ones produced by Hallmark, as opposed to some of the other ones. There's just you can tell a quality.
Yeah. There's a certain magic to the Hallmark ones that you just know.
They have the formula down pat.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us for this episode of That's a Wrap. You can keep up to date with the show on Instagram by following Voltage Live at @voltage_live, or by checking out the blogs tab on www.voltagelive.com. And we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.